Burial. According to Eve Chiron, at the funeral, while Padre Pio's body was resting in the crypt, the crowd of devotees gathered outside sang songs particularly beloved by the religious. Suddenly, we heard exclamations of joy. Padre Pio's appeared, smiling, face turned to the left, on the glass of what had been his cell. It was plainly visible, to the belly, and the cord, as I had seen them. To the cries of Miracolo. From the crowd, the guardian father of the convent dispatched a monk to the spot. And the latter returned with incredible information. The padre appeared on the glass. Then, to give a good lesson of realism to all those whom he could consider as exalted fanatics, he gave the order to open the window of the cell of the padre and to stretch a white sheet. Well, after an ah of disappointment from the crowd, suddenly sounded oh, oh. Merry and amused, the living picture of the padre appeared at once on all the windows of this facade of the convent of Saint Marie de Graces. According to some authors, at his burial, a pleasant odor was present, considered to be the odor of sanctity. Posterity. The apogee of Padre Pio's cult took place under the Italian Christian democracy, whose leader Giulio Andreotti declared what happened around Padre Pio's, "It is the most important event from 1900 to today." 20 million people attended his masses, and 5 million are confessed it. It lends miraculous cures of paralysis, tuberculosis, fractures, bronchopneumonia, meningitis, blindness and cancer. He still humbly attributes the action to Jesus or Mary 30. Moreover, many claim to have converted after a meeting with him. In 2000, the director Carlo Carlii devotes to him a television mini-series, Padre Pios. Sergio Castellitto plays Padre Pios. SAJE Distribution adapts this TV movie in 2015 in a French version. Several popes showed their devotion to Padre Pios by going to San Giovanni Rotondo. John Paul II on May 23, 1987, Benedict XVI on June 21, 2009, Pope Francis on March 17, 2018, for the centenary of the appearance of stigmata and the 50th anniversary of the death of the saint. Beatification and canonization. Padre Pios was the subject of 2 official investigations conducted by the authorities of the Holy See from March 20, 1983, concluded that the authenticity of certain signs in 1990, after collecting 73 testimony in 104 volumes. Following the favorable opinion given on June 13, 1997 by the Congregation for the Cause of the Saints, Padre Pios is declared blessed by Pope John Paul II, the May 2, 1999 at the Vatican, in the presence of more than 200,000 people. 40. The June 16, 2002, John Paul II canonized as the Sanctus Pius of Pietrelcina, Saint Pios of Pietrelcina, while opening a formal recognition procedure stigma by the Church, bed sores detached from his stigmata when he was alive being used as relics for this purpose. His tomb has become a high place of pilgrimage. Relics. On March 3, 2008, for the 40th anniversary of his death, the Vatican ordered the exhumation of Padre Pio's body. The Church says in good general conservation while it is the skeletal state. Scientists then work his post-mortem reconstruction in order to expose the faithful for a year, the exposition of the body finally attracting nearly 9 million people. Although his body is covered with clothes and his face too decomposed covered with a silicone mask hand-painted, many pilgrims claim to have seen a body insurrupt. On April 19, 2010, the Congregation for the Causes of the Saints authorizes the translation of his body into the lower church of St. Pius. On June 21, 2010, having opened the year of the priesthood 2 days before with the relics of the priest of Ars, Pope Benedict XVI goes on a pilgrimage to San Giovanni Rotondo to also pay tribute to Padre Pios. He then draws a parallel between these 2 figures of holiness, whose life was centered on prayer, Eucharist, and confession, and gives them as models to Catholic priests, strongly insisting that the sacrament of penance be given to the priest. Honor. Since 1st June 2013 is renewed permanently the exposition of the saint's body in a new glass casket in the crypt which hosted his coffin. From 5 to February 11, 2016 as part of the Jubilee of Mercy, at the will of Pope Francis who chose Padre Pio as one of the patrons of the Holy Year, the remains of the saint in his shrine are transferred to Rome and exposed to the veneration of the faithful in the Basilica of St. Lawrence outside the walls and in St. Peter's Basilica. From 19 to May 21, 2018, on the occasion of the Feast of Pentecost and in the year of the 100th anniversary of the stigmata of Padre Pio, an Ascension of his heart took place in Paris and Chartres, Saturday 19 in the Notre Dame Cathedral, on the evening of 19 and 20, in the St. Eugene Church, St. Cécile the 21 in the Chartres Cathedral. Thanks for watching, share, comment, and subscribe. Saint Padre Pios pray for us.